Hi everybody, this is Robert at Scott Leroy Marketing. Today we're going to show you how to complete the questionnaire for agents that are returning to KW after having left the company. This is only for agents that have come back to KW after leaving. This is not for brand new KW agents who have never been a member of KW. So for completing our returning agent questionnaire, we're going to go to scottleroymarketing.com/returning. That's the place where you're going to find that questionnaire, and it's going to ask you to log in for SLM KW resources. This is where you're going to enter your market center number. Now, this is going to be the number for the market center that you are returning into, even if it's different from the market center that you left from. So I'm just going to put in a market center number here that I know. And then once you're here on the questionnaire page, this video is actually going to be right here in this spot at the top of the page, showing you exactly how to complete the rest of the questionnaire. We're going to go through each and every one of these fields individually. A couple of things to note. This, again, is just for agents who are returning to KW after leaving the company. So again, this is not for brand new KW agents. Also, we ask that you please allow up to 2 business days for us to complete the setup of your MyKW account, even if you are a returning agent. Setups have to work their way through our queue with our setup team. We actually have real live people that perform the setups. So it takes some time to get those taken care of, and it can take up to 2 business days, but we try to do as little as 1 if at all possible. Underneath that, we have one more note. You cannot save the form and come back to it later. You can't close the browser and come back and expect your answers to still be in all the fields here. It must be submitted all at once. So we're going to come down here, and of course it's going to ask for your first and last name all together. You put that in this box. And then underneath that, you would enter your current market center number. So remember, this is the market center that you're coming into, not the market center that you left. Underneath that, we're asking for your username for mykw.kw.com, the KW intranet or KW1 login, whatever you call it. We need that username. It's usually in the format first initial, last name, and then maybe a number or 2, depending on how common your initials are. If you don't know this username, it's okay to just put a dash in this box. We can contact your market center and see if we can recover that username with them. Or if you'd like to know the username yourself and get your setup process faster, you can contact KW International support to recover your username. Your username would actually remain the same from when you left KW as when you came back, because it's individual to you. Nobody else gets that new username. Again, this will expedite your setup if you do call KW International to recover your username. Same for your password. If you don't know your password, you can put a dash in here, but if you do, if you want your setup to be processed a little bit faster, it's easier to call KW International and get your password reset and put that into this box. Underneath that, we're asking what you would like for your new KW, mykw.kw.com password to be. If it's the same as this password, say you reset it or you want to keep it the same, definitely just enter the same password in this box right here. Underneath that, we ask, do you have an existing email address that you'd like to use for the business accounts that we're going to create for you, like .loop and your website and things like that? So you would tell us, yes, I do have an existing email address, or no, don't, go ahead and use the KW email that you're going to create for me. If you choose yes, a new field will appear underneath that asking what is that email address. You would just type in that email in this box right here. If you choose no, use my KW email, we'll just know to use the KW email that we're going to set up for you to create all of your accounts. Underneath that, we ask for your personal email so that when we finish your setup, we can send all of your login information and instructions for how to use your KW tools back to this personal email. We are not going to spam you. Once we process your setup, we delete your email, and you're not going to get any further messages from us. Under that, we ask for the address of your office. Again, this is the office that you're rejoining back into, and this is the street address. Underneath that, we're asking for your cell phone number, and this is for setting up text alerts for leads that come into your websites. Underneath that, we do ask for the cell phone provider that's required for the text alerts. Again, this is all this is for. You're not going to get any spam messages from us or from anybody else. We're only using this to set up text alerts inside your account. Underneath that, we're asking, do you have any social media links that you'd like to list on your profiles and marketing materials? And if you don't have any currently, they can always be added later. So you can actually tell us in this section, no, I don't have any. And if you come back and set some up later, just let us know at support@scottleroymarketing.com, and we can get those added to your profiles after the fact. We're definitely here for you long after we finish your setup. We're here to help you with your KW tools for the rest of your time with KW. Underneath that, we ask if you've earned any designations. Go ahead and put them in this box. So if you have earned a CRI or a GRE or a CPS or anything like that, go ahead and put that in this box. Note that Realtor will automatically be added to your profiles by default. We're going to do that automatically. Underneath that, we ask if you have any specialties. So if you specialize in residential or luxury homes or new construction or first-time buyers or maybe military moves, go ahead and put that in this box. Both of these are optional. You can leave them blank if you want to. Underneath that, we ask for your biography, and we're going to copy and paste exactly what you put in this box. We're not retyping anything. We're not correcting any grammar or spelling. We just copy and paste it into your profiles. This is also optional and can be added later. Underneath that, we ask if you are joining a team, if you have that team name to put it in this box, or if you're forming a team, we need that team name in this box. If you're not joining or forming a team, leave this one blank. And if you do join a team later, we can update that later. Underneath that, we ask if you speak any languages besides English. If you tell us yes, you'll be asked which other languages do you speak. So you would put in maybe Spanish or French or Hindi or Farsi, any other languages that you speak that are not English. If you tell us no, you won't have that option there. But if you do eventually learn some new languages, we can add those to your profiles at a later date. Underneath that, we ask for your slogan or catchphrase or tagline or motto, whatever you call it. We're going to add that to your profiles, and if you don't have one, feel free to leave this blank. We can add a new one later if you do come up with one. Underneath that, we ask for the cities that you serve. Now, this is not counties. This is not greater New York area. This is not serving all of blah, blah, blah. This is individual cities that you're going to be listing in this spot. Oh, it's also not zip codes. We need city names here separated by commas. If you're not wanting to list any here, that's fine. You can leave this blank. And if you think of any later, we can always add them later. We can add up to 10 cities for you. Underneath that, we're asked, do you already have a custom domain that you'd like to forward to your KW website? If you don't know what a custom domain is, leave this box as no. If you do have a custom domain that you'd like to connect to your KW website, choose yes here, and it's going to get you the link to our domain forwarding form. You would click on that separately, and it would you would go fill out a separate form, and we would connect your domain to your KW website. Underneath that, we ask, would you like to use your previous KW email that you had from before you left KW for your new account? If you tell us yes, if you tell us you'd like to use that previous email, unfortunately, we cannot connect that previous email to your new MyKW account. You would have to call KW International Support in order to request for your old KW email to be connected to your account. Most times that's possible, but unfortunately, in some cases, if you left the company, that email address was freed up for somebody else to use, and if somebody else chose that email, they wouldn't be able to reconnect that email to your account, so a new one would need to be created. And we'll contact you, or you can contact us if that's the case. If you choose create new email, we're going to ask for some options to use when you create that new when we create that new email. We ask for 3 options for you. So something like John Smith, or John.Smith or John-Smith. We ask for 3 options here just in case the first one is taken. And if the first one is taken, we'll try the second one. And if the second one is taken, we'll try the third one. If all of those are taken, we'll reach back out to you to let you know that we need additional options. Underneath that, we ask what you would like for us to set your KW Edge website address to be. We're choosing the part before .kwrealty.com. We're choosing the part that would go in this blank here. Again, we ask for 3 options here, and in both of these boxes, there is a list here of prohibited words that you cannot use in your email address and website. Definitely read through those to make sure that you're not using any of those words in your website or email address options here. One thing about your eEdge website address, nothing is going to be transferred from when you left KW to when you rejoin. All of your old contacts and your old marketing materials and your old campaigns cannot be transferred. We're setting up a new eEdge website for you. So we're going to be setting that up for you, and keep in mind these choices that you choose here cannot be changed by us. If you want to change your choice that you put into this box, you would need to contact Market Leader directly. That's the company that runs eEdge, and they will charge you $150 to change this address. So please be sure of what your you're entering in this box that you'd like that to be for your eEdge website address. One thing to note, one very important thing to note, is that the eEdge website is older and less customizable, and there's actually a newer website provided by a company called Placester, Placester, and that website is much more customizable, and that's the one that KW International would like for you to use anyway because it is better. And that website address can be changed at will. So if you don't like your eEdge address, usually that's going to be fine because you can just forget about it and use your Placester site address instead, which you can change basically anytime that you like. Underneath that, we ask whether you have a previous .loop account, so like from your previous time at KW, or if you're coming back from another brokerage and you've got an existing .loop account, you would choose yes, and then we ask for what is the email address and password for that .loop account. If you don't know those, please give .loop a call directly to reset your password or to recover the email for your account. If you don't know these passwords, you can leave these blank or just add a dash in here, but note that it will delay your setup as we look for that correct login information. If you don't have a previous .loop account, just choose no and those boxes won't pop up. Underneath that, we ask what your MLS login ID is. We do not need the password to log into your MLS account, only the ID. Underneath that, we ask for your NRDS number. This is only if you're in certain boards where we're required to have that number, and if you are in that board, your office should let you know. Underneath that, we ask what is the name of the MLS board that you've joined. And then underneath that, we ask for your level of real estate experience, whether it's novice, intermediate, or expert. You can choose any of these. It's not really going to affect anything on your profiles. We just like to have this information for when we're setting people up. Underneath that, we have a box for additional comments. If there's anything more that you'd like for us to know during your setup process, please let us know there. Underneath that, we ask if you have a personal logo to use on your KW websites and marketing materials. If you don't have a logo, leave it as no, but if you do have a logo, switch it over to yes here, and you can upload your own logo in this spot. Note, this is not a place to upload the KW logo. We have all of the KW logos. You don't need to upload a KW logo to your questionnaire. Underneath that, we ask whether you have a professional headshot to use on your profiles. If you don't have one, that's fine. You can leave this blank. And if you get one later, we can add that to your profiles at a later date, just like with your logo and most of the other information in the questionnaire. If you do have a headshot, just choose yes, and you'll have the option to upload your headshot. Note that on both of these image uploaders, the maximum file size is 10 megabytes. If you try to upload a file larger than 10 megabytes, when you click send, the form will not go through to us. We will not receive your information. You will not be set up. So if your picture or your logo is larger than 10 megabytes, instead email that over to us directly at support@scottleroymarketing.com. Underneath that, we have our send button. When you click on send, and then you should be taken through to our thank you page with this nice video from Scott. He's our owner here. Once you see this page, you can rest assured that your questionnaire is in our hands. If you do not see this thank you page, know that your questionnaire did not make it through to us, and you can shoot us an email at support@scottleroymarketing.com if you do need additional help. And then you should also receive an auto email with some additional considerations for agents that are returning to KW with some additional information. If you have questions about this process, again, feel free to shoot us an email at support@scottleroymarketing.com. Thank you and have a great day.